Hey, this is Mike. Welcome to the Wandering Minds podcast.
This is Mickey, and today we have Austin.
Austin Hodges. Well, Hodges. He's back again. Yes, sir. What's new, my man?
Oh, man, just life.
Yeah, you look good.
Thank you.
You look good.
Thank
Look
you.
like you're working hard to work out, working hard. How are your knees?
Knees are good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had knee surgery.
Yeah, I had a appointment about a week ago at Slocum, and he said he found some stuff in the MRI he didn't like.
Uh-oh.
It was almost like my ACL didn't take all the way, the graft, so
Yeah, right.
we're kind of looking at like stem cell now, because I
Oh.
don't want to have to do a whole other operation
Yeah.
and be out longer.
No doubt.
So I really told him, I was like, that's not an option. I'll just let it snap. Like,
Right. We don't want to go that route.
I don't
but
need it. I got 3 more.
You know Mickey works for a PT, right? Physical therapist.
What I do now.
Yeah, right. So what else is new? Tell me your
man.
life. Tell me your life. Give us some updates on how things.
Since I've seen you guys, it's
Yeah.
been a lot has happened very fast.
Okay, good, bad, in between,
Very good.
all the above. Okay, let's
Very
go.
good.
Let's go.
Definitely got more involved with church.
Okay.
More involved with almost in a sense like a street ministry.
Oh, awesome.
Tonight after this interview, actually, we're going to pretty much feed homeless people and like talk to them about scriptures, or
Good for you.
just not even really, almost in a way we're just trying to be there and show them like we care about them.
That they're
It's not like we're
humans.
gonna just sit there and just jump right into.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
to kind of get to know people a
That
little
might
bit.
turn
No.
some people off.
No,
right?
I agree 100%. When it comes to ministry, you have to build a relationship with someone before they'll even listen to you.
Yeah.
Right? If you just, in my opinion, if you just come out of the gate with like, oh, Jesus saves, da da da, like get out of my face.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't know me.
They
you don't,
feel like they're being judged, right? You
that,
think?
yeah, and you don't know me. You don't know where I'm at in my walk. And so who knows with these people that you're approaching today, you might learn something from them. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
relationships are huge when it comes to ministry.
Yeah, because there's always been like a conception from like the men's group that I'm doing it with. It's a lot of them haven't really had like a past like mine, or
Yeah.
almost like a, in a way, like a Paul setting kind of from the scriptures, and they do things a different way than I do. I guess they're more like, they don't have life experience to talk
Yeah.
about and kind of build a relationship with a lot of these people we're trying to reach.
Yeah.
And I think that's for me, that's where I come in,
Yeah.
and I can actually really get to these people and they'll listen to me because I have experience with what they're going through, whether it's addiction or homelessness or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more relatable. Yeah.
But that, and I'm actually in Bible college, so that's
Nice.
kind of trying to, in a sense, get out of construction and kind of do something where I can actually be of use to people, and
Yeah.
wherever that takes me, that's where I'm going to go.
Where do you go to Bible college? Is that
I'm
local?
enrolled with Pacific Bible in Medford.
Oh,
It
okay.
starts in the fall.
Is it online or are you
It'll
gonna,
be online. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not going down there.
not moving to Medford?
Well, if it's in the future plans, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's not somewhere I would choose to live.
Right.
I've never spent much time in Medford. Have you?
Not a quick drive through. Maybe
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
it.
I feel like I went
Stop
there
it
a
in
long
and out
time
or
ago
something. I think is
when I was
it.
like a teenager.
Yeah.
One time, but
You're not missing a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's as southern as you can get, almost, right? To wait, is that where?
no.
It's pretty close to the border.
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's
It's like
close.
a half hour, 45 minutes from
Yeah.
Eureka.
So it's
I'm laughing because it's Oregon. And you'd think I would like know geography a little
Yeah.
better. Yeah, no.
People don't, and nobody knows where I grew up.
right.
Where'd
yeah,
you grow
that's
up?
true.
Brookings.
You were
I
in
know where Brookings is.
Yeah. Okay,
There
well,
you go. Brookings is
Brookings
beautiful.
is near though. It's right there
That's
from
all
Medford,
west.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of
yeah.
like here in Florence-ish,
Yeah.
right? Valley.
I mean,
Because
So
you
that
said 2 hours west, right?
yeah.
Yeah, see?
So that must be exciting though. to the Bible college. So what does that? Where do you see that taking you? Is it? Are you going to be a pastor? Is that the ultimate desire, or is it to get that as your onto your resume, into your
Like foundation.
tool?
me-
Yeah, like and your tool belt.
I'm almost doing it for myself, for like personal.
Okay.
And then I'm kind of trusting, and we'll see what doors will open when that time comes.
Good. Okay.
But for right now, I'm doing it for myself and kind of giving me a better understanding of what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be that guy that can quote scriptures but doesn't live the way I walk or
no, and I
Yeah.
respect that, because I think a problem with a lot of people is scripture isn't designed to read. It's designed to live by, but to live by it you have to study scripture. You can't read scripture, right? And I think that's a problem with a lot of people these days, is it's read like a book, regurgitated like a book with no real, you don't know what that meant though, type of thing.
everything. I feel like every time I read it, I get something else from like I could read the same verse and I would get something different every time I read it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, for me, it's more of getting a more general understanding of what is being told and what's being said in those scriptures. So that way I can better understand it for myself and help talk to people in a more way that shows like I know what I'm talking about.
Educated level. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, going back to what you just said, you pick something, you get more out of it each time you study it. And I think the beautiful thing about that, because that's a spiritual connection, I think the beautiful thing about that is because it is designed as a personal thing, right? Everybody's going to get something different personally, potentially out of scripture that suits their needs in the moment of time, I think. And I think that's real heavy when it comes to like what you're talking about. Meeting people at their level is so different than meeting people at your level, trying to be at your level. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to imply that you're better or worse than other people, but you always have to try and meet people at their level. And I think that's what you're shooting for.
I'm just trying to really tell my story and where I come from. And, you know, if God can find me in a prison cell, I think he can.
Right.
I think if you ask and look for him, you'll find him. It's not that hard. And I mean, I can't say it's not that hard. It's pretty hard to just be like, I trust you.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. I trust you
away.
no matter what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not the perfect person. I'm never going to be.
Nobody is.
But
that's what makes you perfect. In a sense.
Perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's very, it's true.
Yeah.
But like I was telling a guy last night at men's group, it's like, I feel like a lot of people have a misconception about like spirituality is different for everybody. I understand that. But like when the Bible talks about like nobody comes to the Father except through me, but you got those people that are like, I'm not religious, but I'm a good person. I'm going to go to heaven. It's like, you can think that, but like right here it says, you know, the only way to do that is through him.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is ask him into your heart. And try to live the best you can through him. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to do that the best I can, the closest I can. And I feel like now that I've really focused on that, there's been so much more temptation than even when I was doing the bad stuff.
Do you think that's good or bad? I would say that's good, but do you
I think
see
it's good also.
Yeah.
I think at a point in my life right now with everything that's happened already in the past, I think everything from the past has made me mentally tough enough to endure and handle what's going on right now and help me to push it to the side and realize what's important, what the end goal is, what I know is promised to me, and I'm not going to let any of that stuff get in my way.
And know that this is another stepping stone up and not back. Those difficult challenges are put in place for you to get better and better every time. That's where people fail, I think. Not fail, but I hate the word fail. I really actually do hate that word.
Failure is
fail.
a personal choice, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. And that, but what I meant by that is people look at things as failures rather than
lessons learned.
Yeah, the guy the other day, instead of losing, he called it learning. I love that because the L.
Yeah.
L.
It's on there somewhere.
One is L to me and the other. As far as like, you feel like you're having more temptations and stuff along this line, to me, and my view is that's like more evident that there's a spiritual warfare over you as an individual.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So like where, you know, God is working at you from this angle, Satan is working at you from this angle, and he's like, that guy Austin is getting away from me, so I'm going to work even harder. Right. So that's why I think when I hear people say that, it's a good thing. It gets really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, I guess I have a great community of people at Ecclesia Church, and just a great group of guys that keep each other accountable, and that's super. Everybody's important. There for each other. It's not one of those church for profit places that kind of.
What does that mean?
Church for profit's like in 2 Timothy, it talks about how like people will take what they want and understand it in a way that they try to understand it.
Yeah.
Justify it.
And they will justify or, in a sense, twist God's word for how people understand it and wander off into myth or whatever.
Yeah,
so kind of like society today, how a lot of churches are more accepting of things that God isn't accepting of. Mm-hmm. And accepting and loving is two different things.
Right.
And ecclesia is very true to sticking to what black and white scripture says from God. And that's why I really love it there. Yeah. Because they're not going to alter what the Bible says to get people in their doors.
Yeah.
Maybe that boomstick isn't so good.
Right. Well, not for the slappers. Not for the slappers.
Well, that was happening the other day with the boxer. He got hit in that one.
Yeah.
Kevin's in here and just
you're right.
beating it up.
Yeah. Well, we had Aaron Thompson and
Myron Johnson.
Myron Johnson, coach. I don't know if you know those guys.
Aaron sounds familiar.
There's a Golden Glove boxing tournament next weekend at Mac Court.
Yeah.
So it's a 100th anniversary Golden Gloves tournament. So
where's that at?
Mac Court, right over on the university.
Yeah, U of O. I didn't know either. It's here in Eugene.
Yep.
MacArthur.
Big thing. MacArthur
Arena
Court. Yeah.
When is it?
It's the 27th and 28th, which is next Friday and next Saturday.
Well, 28th, we got the fights at the Armory.
Yeah, I found out today that
I
there's
saw
also,
those too.
Is it the Arena Wars? Is
that
MMA
fights.
Marcus is the one that told me. I saw him this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's so disappointing that it's the same night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple guys from Checkered Pass fighting there.
Cool.
On that card, so I'll be there.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
That's the Arena Wars.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's...
So this was a little segue off, but let's
anyway,
get back to it. Let's get back to it. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. You were talking about... so as far as like taking things and twisting them and sticking like black and white versus whatever else like churches and things do, Jesus was called us to love people, right? And I truly believe that the best way to like reach people is through relationships and loving them, right? Because it doesn't matter. A sin is a sin is a sin.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what you're doing because I'm also sinning.
Yeah,
right?
no sin's greater than another one.
Right. So I can still love you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that is super important. But a lot of people get hung up on that, right? Like, oh no, you are X, Y, and Z, so I'm not going to have anything to do with you, or you're going straight to hell. I don't know scripture so well, like where they come from, but the one about the log in your own eye before like you point out other people.
Why are you judging your brother for a splinter and has
there you go.
a beam out of yours?
There you go.
Yeah.
Like I know stuff like that. Anyway, so
I mean, it's true. I mean,
yeah. I agree. Just like you said, you're not a perfect person. Neither am I, and I'm pretty sure Mike thinks he is. But
Very close. Very close. Very close.
Mike's as close as they come.
Oh.
Especially on the height thing.
Nobody knows how tall Jesus was, really. I mean,
Right.
So.
Right.
For the record, Mike's 5'4".
5'6" for the record. And some short change, buddy. Actually, I had somebody comment on my squat on TikTok. Nobody that I know. Just TikTok is very, very out there. And it was a 335, and it was a goblet squat. So the weight is literally shifted to the very front. It's very hard.
It was
variation.
with the transformer bar, so it wasn't a 335-pound goblet squat.
No, it was a very,
kettlebell.
very difficult.
It's front squat.
Yeah,
like front heavy squat.
Somebody commented for 5'2", that's awesome, or 5'2", that's very awesome. And I'm like 5'6", thank you. And they came back and said, I really like that you had a good sense of humor. I have to. I've been dealing with this my whole life.
You didn't know the person?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, just some random person. But it was funny. Anyways, going back to you. Yeah. Let's get back onto Austin. We keep jumping around.
So Austin wasn't sure he wanted to talk about this, but he got his nose broke.
Ooh.
Was that in training?
Yeah, well, it was unexpected. I mean, I didn't even know about it.
Oh.
And
you're too used to pain.
Yeah, I like it, apparently.
Right?
Well, I'm the type of person, like, even in, like, sparring and stuff, like, if I don't get hit, like, I'll put my hands down, like...
Do it. Let's go.
Just like, because I love it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a weakness or not. Eventually, I'll probably go out, but...
It doesn't matter.
I don't even know how it happened. I couldn't even tell you if it was sparring, wrestling. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Really?
But I know that I was fighting, like, a sinus infection for, like, a week and a half. And I finally took a day off of work because I woke up and my pillow and, like, my mattress, like, my chest was covered in blood.
Wow.
So, like, oh, great, I have, like, pneumonia or bronchitis or something.
Yeah, that's...
So I go to urgent care and he's like, when's the last time you had your nose broken? I was like, I don't know, years ago. He goes, no, your nose is broken right now. He's like, it's probably been a couple weeks.
Wow.
And he said, like, I'm going to have to see a nose specialist and, like, because I can't breathe out of it. It's like it's
congested up there.
No, it's
really swollen.
All my bone fragments, all the scar tissue, it's actually closed off my nose to where I can't breathe out of it.
Mouth breather.
Yeah. Well, good thing I'm single right now.
Right.
But
we know somebody snores.
I don't know. I can't tell. But they said they're going to have to go in there, re-break it, shave out everything, and then cauterize all my blood vessels and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah. What's the recovery on that?
just another surgery, you know?
Yeah, of course. Just
Well,
one
he
of those
said,
things.
I don't know, probably like 3 to 6 months. But I have from wrestling in high school, I had like stitches and stuff. So it's kind of like it's kind of funny because it's like a hard mask that connects to headgear.
Yeah.
It almost makes you look like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or
Right.
something.
And you've seen athletes like basketball players wear those hard face masks.
Really?
Like clear? Is it clear or is it?
No.
I haven't.
And it's different because
seen
we're
this.
men. We actually get hit. They
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Right. I know it's for the real.
But
the real ones.
yeah, it's just like a hard plastic with like almost like a pillow cushion on the front.
Yeah.
But it's like a full mask, and then connects to headgear. So I'll probably wear that if I'm gonna train.
Oh,
Because it's not
okay.
gonna
For
stop
training.
me from training.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna wear that just on the streets.
Right. You're just
That
walking
sounds
down
terrible.
the bus
Like
stop.
I've never seen this
Right.
before.
Just walk around with a machete and just
You can stay single for a while.
Yeah, man.
yeah, that's the plan actually. I don't know.
It's good. You have to get right with
It
yourself.
seems like women are a pretty big detour. No offense.
Well, I mean, that's one of your tests, though, probably, right?
Yeah.
It's been a big challenge.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good though. Self-discipline. All those,
Well, I told
good words.
one of them not long ago.
One of them.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, let me get through the little black book here.
no,
Okay,
I told her like a couple weeks ago. I just said like, what I learned from my relationship I talked about the last one was, I'm not ready for a relationship because I still have those insecurities that I thought were gone when I forgave my dad. Because I don't like when I talked about forgiveness and stuff and don't do it till you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think I was ready.
Okay.
Because if I was, I wouldn't have really had to get insecure. And I was talking to one for a little bit. We tried to date, and it just, I don't know. And I just said, like, it's nothing you did. It's nothing. Because she was great. She was like, she even cooked me food and drove it to me.
Wow.
So I had it right when I was done training. Like, she
Yeah.
was all in pretty much right off the bat. And for me, it was the whole, like, somebody said they'll be there for you forever. Let's type of push that boundary.
Mm.
So I still had that, and that was like an early thought from that point. I was
Really?
like, I don't think I'm ready. Like,
Yeah.
I still have things I need to.
That's self-sabotage.
Yeah,
It is self-sabotage.
Yeah.
and it came very early, and I was like, this is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not ready for a relationship with anybody, commitment, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I've found that being by myself, even like out of a prison cell, because that's different. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But like out here and having temptation and people to talk to, and like being able to turn my phone off or just not hang out with anybody, like it's actually relaxing,
Yeah.
and it's less drama, less worry about other
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Like I don't have to worry about other
Well,
people.
there's a strength in being able to be by yourself. There's a real
100%.
Well, I don't think, for me personally, like with my experience, if you can't be happy alone, I don't think you're ever fully gonna be happy even with somebody in your life.
facts.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like if you can't be happy alone, you're always gonna have like that codependent.
Yeah.
I always need somebody. I need somebody. Like
Mm-hmm.
whether you truly love somebody or not, if you have codependency, I've thought I've loved a lot of women,
Yeah.
but it's just because I had that codependency to where I didn't necessarily love them, but I love their company.
So is this kind of part of where the self-sabotage comes in? That just what you just said?
The codependency thing was a big thing for a long time.
Okay.
And
Like you're afraid to get too attached?
I'm not afraid
quickly,
to get
or-
too attached. I think what I'm afraid of is letting somebody in and then
destroying it.
having them
somehow.
leave, or not fully believing,
Abandonment.
So
not fully believing love truly, I guess.
yeah, when I think of people who self-sabotage in that respect, like relationally, it has to do with like, I don't actually think that I'm good enough to be with you.
That's what it is.
So I'm too insecure. So I don't want you to leave me.
So
I'm going to leave you. Or I'm going to cause this to happen so that you do leave me because I don't, not to
and then that way I'm right, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it usually comes from like not having confidence.
So you don't feel like you're worthy of love. Deep down inside,
all
you don't
related
feel like
to childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So we all struggle with it.
Well, I was
not trying to call you out here.
No, you're fine. And like that's the point of these things. And it's like, well, I texted my dad actually at work on a Friday, and I was just sitting there at work, and I was like on lunch, and I was like, something's going on here. So I texted him, and I was just like, I love you, my real dad. And he was like, what? And I was just like, I don't think I tell you that enough. Like, I love you.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I love you too, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't think I've fully forgiven you yet. I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm not like being mean, but I hate you. Like, I still hate you.
Yeah.
Like, if I told him, I straight up, I said, if you died tomorrow, I would not shed a tear. That's how much I hate you. I said, but I don't want to hate you. Like, I need to fully just truly love you and accept you and move on. And like, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was kind of like another awakening for me, but
like to know that you're
I feel
just
like it's
not
been
ready.
a lot easier this past week or two.
What was his response?
That sounds like a weight was lifted. But yeah, what did he say?
Well, it's the same thing as last time. He was like, I forgave you a long time ago. I was like,
okay.
Forgave me for what? Like,
As a child.
I was, forgive me for you beating me up. Like, I don't get it, but
wow.
Yeah.
He'll come around eventually, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the direction you're headed with like going to or like enrolling in the Bible college and stuff, having that community of support so that like you can get right with yourself, and then learning more about, because really like building your relationship with Jesus and seeing how to love someone, accepting the love that Jesus has for you, like unconditional, right? And that God does. And that's how you should love yourself.
It's definitely crazy.
And I can preach, but I don't necessarily practice.
Well, I think there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
But then again, you got those people that preach it, but they can't practice it. Mm-hmm. Or they practice it, but they can't preach it.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, I've met a lot of Christians that say they're Christian, but you see them throughout the week, and it's like
they're only Christian on Sunday
morning.
Yeah, I call that like a cultural Christian.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of those, and then you do have a lot of the ones that judge people, like, even though we're not supposed to.
Right.
You have a lot of the ones that do, and then you have a lot. I've met guys that you would swear they would be like, God's lucky to have me. Like, they have that mentality. They have that mentality.
I know a few of those.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like those guys that are like, God's lucky to have me, you know, like somebody like me in his corner. It's like,
right.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes you different from everybody else.
Yeah. But I think that's like the era that we're in right now. You got people that are very self-centered and egocentric. And I think that's because look at just everything, internet, all this stuff, that instant gratification stuff, and just people being fed this fake idea of well, they're getting endorphins from this.
Yeah, like the instant endorphins.
Yeah.
Endorphins.
And I think that's a part of why culture is, and there's more challenges for you in this culture right now, I think, because of things like that.
Well, when you get into when you start really diving into scripture and what it says and trying to walk that lifestyle, it's patience is a huge thing. And I'm not very good at that still. That's
same.
I'm a person that if I see something I want it, I'm going to buy it.
Yep.
If I feel like I want to talk to that person, I'm going to go do it. And then I'm the person that if I feel a connection with somebody, I want to get to know them, even though it's possibly not the right time or something. And yeah, I'm going to do this on my own right now. I know what I'm doing. Definitely patience is definitely a big one, because if you can't have patience, you're not going to be able to have that spiritual endurance, they call it.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to endure the word for longevity.
Yeah.
Because you're going to fall off to go do whatever you want to do. And
are you looking at this challenge, and because obviously you just kind of explained part of your walk with that, with going to Bible college and moving on from that direction. Is this going to be a challenge for you, or is it something that you're so set set on doing that it's not even a issue? You're just
Pretty
going.
set on it.
Okay.
And I'm pretty, I'm the type of person, if I get my mind set on something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
How'd you make the decision? Like, what brought that up? Like, what was
To
going
be honest,
on?
I don't think it was me.
Yeah, right.
It's just something that's been like in my heart and in my head for like the past month or so. And I was just like,
Okay.
one day I just, not even me, like Ian Stipe at Ecclesia, he like randomly brought up like ministry and college and different things. Cause I'm doing their Bible college through the church, but it's pretty intensive, pretty fast.
Yeah.
'Cause you got to cram everything into 6 months.
Wow.
And it's once a week. So it's,
A lot.
I'm very lost. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of the people in there are obviously more in tune than I am, I would say. But I'm doing it for myself.
I think you should give yourself more credit. Like, people can put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, well, I just feel lost sometimes.
And that's okay.
And it's
That's
okay to be
okay.
lost.
But I mean, don't like cut yourself down.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to get lost to find your way.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what they talk about. Like when people hear about like the 99 and the 1 or whatever, it's like the 99 sheep that were following what they were supposed to do with the one that wandered off, and the shepherd's got to go get him, and it's like that's always us.
But that one was
We're
worth
always
it,
the
and
one,
that's
you know?
why the shepherd went.
Yeah.
It's because the one was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, all of his disciples, most of them were. I mean, look at Paul. You know, Paul persecuted Christians. Paul did all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And he ended up becoming one of his closest followers.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Chosen series?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I haven't watched the last. So the second season, I was like, this like cinematography. I had
Cinematography.
this morning. I'm gonna put this out there. I had pre-workout, which I have
I was gonna say, it's
whenever
gotta be caffeine related.
whenever I work out, I have it. But something about today, like I've been mouthy. I've been like talking a mile a minute. I've been slurring my words.
Damn
So-
cocaine.
So you got some whiskey in you.
So, but this has been going on all day, and this is the same pre-workout I use anyway. So I've been feeling this way all day,
The
which is
cinematography is good though, right?
cinematography. So the second season, I felt like the quality went downhill, and it wasn't as easy to follow. But my family has watched it. But it's been
What is this show called again?
it's called Chosen,
Okay.
and it's
On what network?
Angel Vid,
I can't tell you, but I watched the Messenger series on Christmas morning with.
the Messenger series. Okay, I'm not sure what that is.
It was just a series of Jesus's the traveling
Okay.
to Nazareth for Jesus to be born.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Mary
that
and
would be
Joseph
interesting.
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So the Chosen series is about Jesus also, and it's but what I really love about it is like in the Bible, you don't necessarily see the historical context. You don't see like what all of the disciples were doing beforehand and what they had going. They add it. It's like a movie, so it's more interesting and easier to follow. Whereas reading the Bible isn't necessarily, and like in 2022, like reading the Bible and like what was going on when it was written, it's hard to understand, like culturally speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting watching this Chosen series. I feel like they've done a really good job. The second season I wasn't a fan of, but I think it's gotten better. A lot of it had to do with COVID, is my understanding, because like they had to shut down recording and stuff.
yeah.
I think the third season just came out, and then I think the fourth. Anyway,
It's just a visual
yeah.
representation
of
of what is being told in the Bible.
Gotcha. So do you embody this? Is this like for a person like you? Do you listen to Christian music? Do you read, study constantly, or what?
I actually changed everything.
Okay.
Like I used to listen to all the Tupac and Nipsey, and
Yeah.
even though I'm still sober, I'm still away from that lifestyle.
Good for you.
For me, it was like I can't really preach to
Disconnect
people
fully,
and talk to
right?
people, and then still be glorifying a lifestyle I used to live,
Yeah.
like with the gang banging music and drugs and women and like everything they talk about these days. And I actually have I have a good friend. His name's Dennis McKenna. He goes by Saint Divine on Instagram.
Okay.
But he's actually a Christian rapper here from Eugene.
Cool.
And he's in my men's group, but he's pretty filthy. Yeah,
Nice.
he's I'll send you his music later.
Yeah, cool.
But,
Filthy in a good way, by
Yeah.
the way.
that means good. Means like,
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, we're going the wrong way.
he's like sick. Like cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When did filthy become?
I guess if I say bussin' or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, but well, like it was crazy because we were at our men's group last night actually, And he showed me on his phone. He goes, dude, Lecrae mentioned me in a story. So it was pretty cool. And I was like, no, he didn't. Lecrae's like a well-known Christian rapper.
Okay.
And he showed me, and I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah,
Nice.
he did.
Right on. That's cool.
You're somebody.
You're somebody.
Yeah. that's
Everybody's
cool.
somebody.
Yeah, I know.
Like, if you met him, you'd be like, he dresses kind of like a California skater, like the long pants and like the chains and the baggy clothes, but he's just like the nicest, most genuine person you'll ever meet.
Yeah. So these are the people that you surround yourself with. That's good.
I got those people that I will directly associate with and talk to and let into my life and be in my friend group.
Yeah.
And I can be like, us as men, like we're very like open and vulnerable and intimate with each other about what's going on in our life and what's going on with our walk. And
You guys holding each other
if we
accountable.
struggle, we hold each other accountable, and it's almost like a huge accountability group.
Good.
And a lot of us come from similar backgrounds. And I don't know if you've heard of Agape.
Yeah. I have.
It's
I don't
the,
know how. What is it?
Troubled youth kids. They usually have like one or more parents incarcerated.
Okay.
But a lot of the kids are either foster care or homeless or...
Is that here locally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they actually have a camp coming up in June. And I actually got asked to be a cabin leader, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
The leader, Andy, he goes, I don't think I've ever met a more perfect, qualified person than you. He goes, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Cool.
And he goes to the prison, to OSP, and he does like Bible ministry there. And he asked me if that would be something I'd be interested in. Obviously not right now because I've only been out a year.
Yeah.
So I'd have to be out a little bit longer. But I said, yeah, of course. Like, that would definitely be something I would do. And he's like, well, with your past affiliations, do you feel like you'd have any security risks? I was like, I'm not worried about that. I guess we can worry about that if it came to it, but
Yeah.
I can handle my own if I had to. But a lot of things have happened in a good way.
Good. It sounds like you're on the path that you were meant to be on.
Yeah, like I said last time, you got to go through what you go through to be used for what he needs you for, and I believe it.
I'm a firm believer in that, and I try and tell that people all the time. I'm sure you do, but it's like a lot of people have shit lives. They really do. They have, like you. I mean, you've had a horrible, horrible life, but to endure that, on the flip side of that, you're able to give so much back to people, and that's why you had to have a shit life to some degree. You know what I mean? You're purposeful. You have a purpose, and your purpose is bigger than you, as long as you stay on your path, which you are.
Yeah, everybody's got a purpose.
Yeah. Mine's as a podcast host.
Finally wearing pants.
Right?
But no, I think I seen a thing last night on Instagram. I don't know who it was, but he was saying a lot of people feel like they don't have anything to offer the world.
Yeah.
Or what, but you've made it through addiction or prison or anything like that. Like, you have something there. And it's like a lot of these people think they don't have anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you've made it through like withdrawals from drugs or anything like that in that lifestyle, like, you have something to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be that extreme, right? But I think a lot of people don't recognize what they have been through, what they have pushed through, what they have overcome, because like a lot of it's just minimized, right? Like,
I just think a lot of people are either embarrassed to say what they've been through and they don't want to put it out there, or they're scared that people are going to like look at them a different way or judge them or whatever. But for me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to try to make friends and be accepted. Like, I'm here to live my life the best I can and be as genuine as I possibly can, in hopes that I can help somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can truly say and truly mean it that you care about people and that you want to help people if you're going to lie to them about who you are or where you've been, in a sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people will either, like, what do you say, like, hype up what they've been through and what they've done to sound either more cool or whatever, or they'll dumb it down because they're like, people aren't going to believe that I've been through that, or
a fear of judgment.
People are like, oh crap, I don't want that guy around me or my family. Like, he's done that, and I'm just as real, as genuine as I possibly can, and
I believe in authenticity.
Yeah,
For sure.
And when people, you can kind of tell, for me, since I've been through a lot of that, like, I'm not somebody that will look at somebody and judge them because I know what it's like, almost in a sense. But I'm a very big judge of character, and I will listen to what you say and how you say it, and watch your body language and your emotion and how you carry yourself. Like, I'm a big judge on character. I don't care what somebody says about you. I'll give you a chance, and I'll judge you for myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've met a lot of people that you can listen to what they're saying, and you're like, you're such a liar.
Yeah. It's fake. You
Yeah.
can see they're fake from the get.
Because it's like you heard that in like a song or like...
Right.
Yeah. Because I've heard people like that because like there was a guy at work, like, I think it was actually on Monday. He was bragging about like how much weight he used to move or whatever and blah, 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 and was talking about heroin and all this stuff. And I was like, oh man, I was like, I don't even want to say this, but I just asked him, I was like, how many grams are in an ounce of heroin? He goes, oh, it's like 28. I was like, it's 25, you retard. You can't just... Like, I knew you were lying from the start. Like,
Yeah.
you're just stupid.
Did he own it?
No. He's like, oh, well, I don't know where you're from. I'm like, okay. Like, it's just something so stupid like that, but I was just like, I knew he was lying from the start.
Well, and that's the thing is a lot of people are going to look at you and look at the life you've been part of and want to attach to that and want to match that.
I hope not.
Oftentimes. Well, no, I mean, you would hope not. I wouldn't want anybody to say, hey, look what he did, so let me act like I did that. It's like, no, I want to be an example for you to fucking avoid, right?
To make different choices.
Yeah, don't be like me. I'm not a badass. I'm a dumbass. And that's just facts, right? So, I
was just young
that
and dumb
being
for
said,
too long.
yeah,
You know?
some
But
people attach to that, like the whole glamorizing gangsterism. When you've been in part of that life, you know that's no life
Cool.
for anybody. That's just dumb shit. But a lot of people want that. They want that idea of that.
Because it's glorified. In everything
It's
we
glorified. Plus, they're in their safe little zone, so it's not really affecting them unless they went someplace where it wasn't.
Where it was real.
Where it was real.
That's why I told my little brother, man, these kids are just...
They're dumb.
They walk around saying, like, cuz and like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it's like, you guys don't... Like, here, like, whatever, you're probably safe. But you go somewhere, like, where it's real.
Yeah.
I tell them, I say, like, when you get, like, jumped into a gang or initiated into a gang, like, they look at that like people that have served our country. Mm-hmm. Because you have to earn it. It's not just something that's given to you.
Yeah.
So when you guys walk around saying that, like, all it takes is for one wrong person to be like, oh,
Well,
where you
it's
from?
disrespect.
Like, where you from?
Yeah.
Where you rep? And you don't know.
Yeah.
You're going to get hurt.
Right.
You might even lose your life.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, yeah, right. And it's like, no, that people think it's a game.
Yeah. Well, because they see it on TV. They see a lot of shit on TV. They hear it in songs. You got half the rap artists aren't really about that life. They're just singing about that life, which is horrible. It's horrible because they're glamorizing a lifestyle that is deadly. You know that.
Yeah.
But
Death or prison. That's
Right.
usually the two options.
yeah. So tell me about, you mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, you were going to go after the show. You were going to go.
Yeah, so we were kind of talking about a week or two ago about kind of like being comfortable like in our group or whatever, and like just we believe like the best way to reach people is to go reach them.
Yeah. How many is in your group?
My men's group is about 5 or 6 other people.
Okay.
But we're all same age almost.
Yeah.
Very close in age, very like-minded, very like mission focused, we always say. And a lot of us have similar pasts, whether it was like foster care. I never had that, but a lot of the guys had foster care and abuse and foster care, or drug addiction, homelessness. Like my friend Jackson, he lived at the mission for a long time.
Yeah.
And
Any gang,
no,
ex-gang members?
No, just
Other
me.
Yeah, okay.
just me.
I mean, it's a valuable thing, though. It really is.
Well, it is, because I feel like for me, I've never been in foster care.
Yeah.
But a couple of them have. So it's like almost like a relationship. Like wherever your partner lacks, you're supposed to pick it up, and wherever you lack, they pick it up. Like that's kind of what we do in our men's group.
Good.
Yeah, so you're able to reach more people.
Because it's like I have the addiction aspect, the incarceration.
Yeah. So you guys are all a piece of a puzzle that
we're all different.
Yeah.
And we all work great together.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like when we go out and talk to people, we have a great foundation for every single walk of life that's probably possible.
Yeah.
From all of us that have been through different things. And some of us are obviously more severe than others, but we don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
some people learn differently than others. People like me, we usually got to go to the extreme before we learn.
Yeah. Through severe trial and error. I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a long life.
Yeah.
I think I'm at that point now where it's kind of like you said, it's looking back on my life and my story and my testimony of where I've came from.
Mm-hmm.
People will look at me, like I've had a lot of people, even after the podcast interview last time, they were like, oh, like, you know, we're so sorry you had to go through that. And it's just like, why are you sorry for me? Like,
yeah.
I made it. Mm-hmm. I'm here now. And I'm not that person that is going to use what I've been through to be a victim like I did for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm that person that's using what I've been through to not only make my life better, but I'm going to hope to make everybody else's better around me.
Yeah.
And whether you're my friend or not, I'm never going to like want to see you struggle.
Yeah.
And even though my childhood was horrible and my own choices in adult life putting me places where I've been, like I can truly genuinely say like I'm at a place where I know I'm supposed to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think I've ever felt more. Back in that day, it was always a struggle, but it was something I had to keep up. Like I had a persona to keep up with the addiction and the gangs and all that stuff. I had to be the tough guy. I had to be the one that was ready for anything at all the time.
Yeah.
But now I don't. I can just be me. And it's
a good feeling, right?
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I don't have to fake anything. I don't have to force anything. Like it just comes natural.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good. I think that's something that people strive for. I think that's why people are so insecure and confused about who they are in life, because they haven't found that.
They haven't found themselves. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. They haven't found them. They haven't found the true them. And so they're confused. They're like, they don't know what they are. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they're supposed to go, because they're uncomfortable with sitting in that. And going back to what we talked about earlier, just being by yourself, just being comfortable when you're alone, just focusing on yourself and thought and getting inside your head and trying to analyze things. I think that's what people need to do more of.
I think people really need to get out of their comfort zones and not kind of...
I agree with that.
Almost be like, it's really hard to look in the mirror and be like, who are you? Mm-hmm. And have a real answer for yourself. Yeah. You can just be like, oh, I'm the biggest badass. Nobody can touch me. Or you can be like, I'm broken. Yeah. Like I'm hurting. Like I'm a man, but at the end of the day, like I'm struggling. Mm-hmm. And it's super hard to be honest with yourself. Like even for me, like it takes a lot to sit there and be like, you know, you're broken. Like you're not ready for a lot of stuff in life, but you're trying. Mm-hmm. And you're still here and you're not giving up. And I think a lot of people, when it gets too hard, they give up and they go back to what's comfortable. Yeah. And like I told one of the kids in the mentor program, I said, a lot of my life I was comfortable doing the wrong things. And I'm trying to break that cycle for you guys. Mm-hmm. Because it is so easy. It would be so much easier for me just to go pick up a needle and some heroin right now. Yeah. Because that would be the easy way out. Like walking a real like life of integrity is not easy. Like it's really not. That's true. I can go make thousands of dollars in an hour if I wanted to, but it's not. I already know. It's not worth it. Yeah. And there's always easier routes in life. There's always the easy way out of stuff in life. Always. Like it just comes down to choices. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where your support system comes in, right? Well, I tell all these kids, it's like, it don't matter where you come from. Like, it really don't. Like, my family was wealthy. And look at me. But I made my own choices. Not my parents, not the person next to me, not my friends, not my group. I did it. Yeah. So it comes to a point in your life where you can sit here and talk to me and tell me what I want to hear, or you can be real with yourself. And I'm pretty good at telling that you're lying to me. Like I got a kid that's like, oh, I want to, you know, like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing that. And it's like, buddy, you just got in trouble for fighting in school yesterday. Like, like you can be like me of all people, you can be real with me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never judge you. I'll definitely give you the best advice that I can. And I'll tell you what I've been through in hopes that maybe you'll open your eyes to what really happens in life. Because I feel like a lot of these younger kids, even for myself, they're kind of told, like, don't do this, but they're never told, like, why don't do it.
Yeah.
Or this can happen if you do that, or this can happen, or you never know what'll happen if you do this. And definitely very open and honest with everybody that comes across that wants to listen.
Yeah.
About what's happened in my life. So,
do you think that has that ever been not received well?
like, what do you mean?
Like somebody just they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to relate with you anymore. Like you scared them off.
I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I've met random people that have heard me talk or kind of heard my testimony and either been like, there's no way that's happened and he's here.
Yeah.
Or they just got turned off in some way.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's happened. But
not that you know of though, but
then again, I already know that like what's happened in this life that I'm trying to live isn't for everybody.
yeah.
But at least if there's that one that wants to listen and changes, that'll be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't control who's in and out of my life.
That's true.
Like I'm at that point where if you don't want to be in my life, then I used to beg you to stay in my life because I felt like I wanted you. But I'm at that point where if you don't want to be here, go.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to like in a sense sell myself like I'm a car for you to be in my life. I'm not going to sit there and be like, this is what I offer. This is who I am. This is me. This is Austin.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to be in my life, go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and try to auction myself off to you. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way, if you're having to like sell yourself to someone,
It's not meant to be.
Right. There'll always be that like weird insecurity of like, well, what if they found out that I did X, Y, Z or whatever?
Not good enough. Like,
Right,
it's
right.
always going to be right there.
If you're having to like convince someone to be your friend or your whatever
Just
they are.
convince your worth to people, and it's just like, no,
Yeah.
I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You want to be here? Cool. You don't? See you later.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
What else, bud?
I don't know.
So, I know that like we keep going back and forth, but I think last time you were talking about how you wanted to get another fight, right?
Yeah.
How is that? Is that like
Well, his
still-
nose has been broken, so that's
He's
out,
definitely
right?
been fighting.
Well, we were looking at a card in April down in Susanville, California.
Mm-hmm.
But with the whole injury-prone Austin thing, I don't know. I don't know. That'll definitely have to be on hold for a while, I
That
think.
may not be the life for you.
I mean, I'm 29, so if I feel like if I keep going right now and not letting myself heal, it might just keep me in a...
Mm-hmm.
But if I take a little bit of time off and kind of just let my body heal, which I'm not very good at, I might be able to get a fight before I turn 30. I don't know. But I'm still running, though. I mean, I just set a goal. I didn't set a goal. I set a PR yesterday. I ran 10 miles in 59 minutes, so I got under an hour for 10 miles.
That's
What
awesome.
in the frick?
Yeah.
Frick.
He must really be stunned.
You said 10 miles?
Yeah, I got like
10?
10 miles.
5 miles and
10 miles.
That's
and
a hard pace to sustain.
It was like a 5:56, 5:57.
Was it flat? Oh, you did it on a treadmill, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, sheesh.
So treadmills, I feel like are harder because at least I'm not a runner at all.
Treadmills are harder on my knees, that's for sure.
Oh, I could see that, but there's nothing to look at, so it's so boring.
Well, you could watch TV.
Yeah, I ain't doing
I
that.
mean, yeah, I guess you could. You could watch TV.
If you have a TV in front of you, you can watch TV.
You could do that.
I hate TV. I hate it.
Really?
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm very busy. I wake up every day at 4:35 in the morning. I'll either go road run or I'll go run Pisgah.
Oh, wow.
And then I usually have a meeting before I go to work, whether it's discipleship or with Agape, to talk about how we're going to do these summer camps for these troubled youth kids and getting volunteers and people that can qualify to be mentors and counsel these young kids. Because a lot of these kids are coming from broken families like I did, whether it's like dad's in prison, mom's in prison, or both, or living with grandparents that don't have the means to support them, so they're poor, or kids that ran away from foster care because they're homeless because the foster system.
Abusive.
The foster care system.
It's horrible.
Most of it is
Like
disgusting.
cattle. Oh, yeah.
And feel like a lot of these kids, people aren't ready for them.
Yeah.
And it's like when I got involved with that program, I said, I want you to give me the angriest, the worst of the worst kids you have, because that was me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid that nobody could control. I was that kid that did whatever I wanted. I didn't listen. Like, screw you. Like, we'll fight. I don't care how tough, blah, blah, blah. That was me. And I feel like with those kids, like, I have a kid that finally started talking to me, like, on his own, just, like, I never got a word out of him for, like, a month.
Wow.
Month and a half. And finally he just was like, I think it was just like, oh, well, I did this at school today, but it was, like, progress.
Yeah.
Because he'd never said anything.
Yeah, nice.
It was
You
always
probably
me.
had to show consistency for him too, though.
Well, he's had a couple people just give up on him.
Yeah,
'cause
that's what I'm saying. Is like he's never been shown consistency.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
He's very difficult. But, I mean, I've never
Well,
had
he's
anything.
he's like you. He's a self-sabotager.
Well, he's just exactly
Right.
like me as a kid, and that's what I told him.
Yeah.
I was like, Miguel, you're me, and it scares me. I was like, we need to get you on a different path soon because you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So you go to these meetings and then you go to work?
Go to work. Usually get off around like 4:30, 4:45, and then I was MMA training, but can't really do that for
Taking
a while.
some time.
Yeah. But then I have the men's group in Bible college, and I went to a Celebrate Recovery meeting, and it kind of wasn't for me. I mean, I'm not talking down on it, but I feel like when you get like baptized and saved or whatever, it's like you're raised to walk in a new life is what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So at Celebrate Recovery, they're like, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict, I'm a this, I'm a that. And it's
So
like,
they're still claiming that.
it's like when you were baptized and like everything was washed away and forgiven, like you're a sinner, but you're not an alcoholic anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, it was like, I went to a meeting with my buddy because I'd never been to one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I'm not an alcoholic, an addict, or a womanizer, or a thief, or any of that stuff anymore. Because I was baptized and all that was washed away, and I'm walking in a new life. So I'm not that person anymore. And for these people to be up there saying, this is a faith-based program, but at the same time, like, we're still addicts and we're alcoholics.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not that anymore.
Let's just
Don't
define
they
ourselves
say-
by the worst case.
Yeah.
Isn't it like I'm a recovered, or the wording of it is
Well, you can say, like, I'm a recovering addict.
okay.
But at the same time, they don't. They're like, oh, my name is this. I'm an alcoholic.
But I agree 100% with
Yeah.
you. I've been sober for, I don't even know. I never even counted because out of sight, out of mind. But I've never called myself an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic if I start drinking. But I've never allowed myself to hang on to that ball and chain. Because why would you continue? You're trying to go towards a positive path,
Yeah.
but you're hanging on to this bullshit. It's like counters. I don't think that people should count the days of sobriety because every single day you remind yourself of that. If you just forgot about it, out of sight, out of mind. But again, everybody needs what they need, whatever works for them. But I agree with you. I think that defining yourself with a negative is never a positive.
I just tell, when they ask, I just say, I'm 6 years clean and sober from everything.
There you go.
But it's like I was saying, like with the recovery, it's, kind of like you're saying, it's like, how are you going to move forward if you still carry that?
Yeah.
That's interesting to think about because like I have one of my best friends is like she is part of the leadership team or something, and I've gone to Celebrate Recovery many years ago. I didn't like it because of the small groups. It was awkward and like I didn't know these people. There was no relational thing. My husband had been going, and so like he had the relationship, so we were broken down into like the small groups, and I was in this group of women, and they all like went in a circle and like spoke about whatever. Like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just tell you I am struggling with like pornography or whatever it is. And I did not like that. And of course, like nobody has to say anything if they don't want to. But then it came down to I'm the last person. Like I didn't like
Awkward.
that.
Yeah.
It was super awkward. I'm like, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I do remember they're really big on the chips. And but I'm remembering it in that like I am a recovered codependent blah blah blah. I remember that it was like labeled as I am a recovered opposed to but I haven't been to one, and this is when I lived in Tennessee, so this was a long time ago.
I went, I think 2 weeks ago, and that's what I heard was like,
I am an alcoholic.
I am.
Yeah.
And it's just
And
like,
it just depends on where you go.
Yeah, well, that's
There's
what I wonder. I'm
different
gonna ask
programs
my
for different things.
yeah. Well, I think all
you know.
Celebrate Recoveries are
Yeah.
pretty organized pretty well the same. So I'm going to ask my girlfriend because I'm curious about that.
I know they're like a 12-step program through the Bible, so it's supposed to be
Yeah.
faith-based, but it's like, again, it's like,
Yeah.
where's the line of faith and where's the line of,
Mm-hmm.
almost in a sense, like a for-profit following,
Yeah.
like, in a sense, I don't know. I just don't, I'm not knocking it because
Yeah, yeah.
everybody,
Well, it's
it works
not
for
for
some
everybody,
people and
right.
it doesn't for other people, kind of
Yeah.
like religion.
If that works for a person to be able to stay sober and have that
Absolutely.
accountability of like getting their 30
And I'm
day
all
chip.
for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Will you
But
turn that fan off because you can hear it in the mic?
can you?
I can.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it until you said something. So, but
So immediately after this, you said you're going to go talk to homeless people, correct?
yeah, we're just gonna go pretty much do what we can to hit the streets and.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So do you just walk around and like talk with people that are on sidewalks and stuff?
Well, we
or-
actually got a bunch of donations of like warm clothes, like weather
Oh,
gear,
nice.
Oh, nice.
and we're gonna go pick up a bunch of probably like Little Caesars pizzas or something. Do like 20 or 30 of them, and then
Yeah.
we got a bunch of Bibles donated.
Mhm.
So we're gonna kind of, in a sense, like our goal is to try to find like a camp, I guess,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just go
Offer
be
it
friends
out.
to these people,
Yeah.
offer them, see what they need, clothes, food, what do they need.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to donate to something like that so that you guys can distribute it, where would they go to?
I would probably just have them go to Ecclesia Eugene
Ecclesia.
and donate either money or time, or there's a lot of different things that they can either volunteer or put funding into that will go to a lot of different services in the community.
Okay.
Like over Thanksgiving weekend, they have that thing called, oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Box of Love.
Uh-huh.
So we did Box of Love. It was we gave every Thanksgiving every family that couldn't afford it Thanksgiving meals.
Mm.
So I think we
Nice.
helped over like 400 families in the area.
Wow.
that's good.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we had a lot of help, whether it was like donations from the community or people at church.
Mhm.
But I can tell you it wasn't cheap. But
Right.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, we're not here for the money aspect or looking
Yeah.
at price tags. Like we're here to help people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like let people know that they're important too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, we're all God's children, no matter where you come from or what you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
Give me some closing thoughts. Something to leave us.
Oh
with.
boy, What do
No
we
pressure. No pressure.
do? Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
God is love.
Do you
No.
do you have any contact information so that if somebody wants to get a hold of you that's different or new or
Yeah, like what if somebody wants to do a Bible study with you?
I mean, they can get on my Instagram.
Okay.
They can
We'll
follow
tag
it.
that.
Yeah, you can put it on there on your whatever.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah. I'm still so like
That's all right.
technology's such a trip.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like my little brother, like if I have a question about anything on my phone, I just go to my siblings because they're like
Yeah, right.
still in high school and one's in college, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is how you do it, you idiot." And I'm like,
I go to my daughters for that too.
"Yeah, I still don't get it."
Well, cool, man. Well, good luck tonight. Stay warm.
Oh, always.
It's freezing out there.
Yeah, it's getting colder and colder.
I know he's got pants on.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay, man. Cool. Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Guys.
Appreciate you.